What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode. And today it really means something special. Another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you, as always, to upgrade your skills before your gear. If it's your first time here, welcome. We've been doing this for 5 years consecutively today. Man, the music matched perfectly with the little pauses and everything. That just fit amazingly. I'm probably gonna have to clip that. But yeah, 5 amazing, incredible years of doing this every single Saturday. We started this at midnight because it was the only time that I had available. And then when I had more time, we started bringing the time down, but it still stayed as a Saturday night prime time, and we've been doing it every single week at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today is episode 262, completing 5 full circles of the calendar year. And I thank you, as always, for taking the time or making the time and hanging out here with me. Give me 1 second because my father just decided to ask me for something, and I'm going to let him know that I'm streaming. 1 second, because live happens. All right, so that's part of my life, but everything is compartmentalized. As tradition goes around here, the first thing that we always do is to go ahead and check out to see who are the first members of the Camera Junkie crew hanging out in the chat. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right. We got Paul saying hi to Parker Jennings, so I guess he's already in chat. But I guess the way that it came into Ecamm, it's a little screwed up. Yep, because I got 4 of Paul's messages right off the bat. He's saying hi to Gretchen, so she's hanging out here as well. To Randy, and he's saying 5 years. Yes, 5 amazing years, and you've been here for a lot of them, so thank you. We have on camera Gretchen saying, checking in from both channels tonight. Happy 5th birthday, Lewis. Love it. And here she is, Gangster Grandma. She's saying hi to Randy, hi to myself, and congratulations on 5 years. Thank you. Can I say, like, it's all been a blur, right? Like, just, that's one of my favorite lines from The Matrix, which is, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path, and I've just been walking the path. So thank you once again for making this special for me and building out this community. And I gotta be honest with you, in the last week or so, the subscriber count has started to like increase something more than the normal like trickle. So I'm just hoping that that also starts heading in the upward direction. It's just gonna bring more like notoriety, right? And just spread our message that we're building here of this tight-knit community and expand it just that much more. So yeah, we got Randy in the house saying hello to everyone, saying congratulations on 5 years. Thank you through the ups and downs, through the hotels and on the road trips and everything. Never missed a Saturday. That's something that I'm gonna be proud of for forever, for the rest of my life. So thank you for being part of it. He's saying what's up to everyone. We got Parker Jennings over here. You see, like, he's saying congratulations on 5 years. Thank you, Parker Jennings. For some reason, it seems like yours was the first, but Ecamm tonight got them all scrambled. But could be my fault. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Scott. And everybody's saying what's up to each other. Yes. All right. So let's get into it. I wish I could tell you that I had a lot more festivities planned, but the way that my life is structured right now, time is sparse. Like, and if I have free time, I usually don't have the energy to do anything else. So that's where I'm gonna leave that there, because I wish I had the time and the energy to do so much more and get a lot of things together. But today we're just gonna talk about the journey and how things have come full circle, and a couple of surprises for some of you. Some of you already know because we were in class together earlier, but something that I was able to do in this past week that is another milestone that I just never thought I would achieve. So we're gonna talk about it. Hey, what's up, Kevin? He's sneaking in here, saying hello to all, saying happy 5 years, major accomplishment. Thank you very much. I don't see myself stopping, so I'm definitely gonna be continue to making it happen, which is what we're gonna get into. So one of the things that I do here every single week is live stream, right? And live streaming is such a big part of my life. Yeah, there's content creation, but live streaming is like my favorite. And that's why I'm able to create content on a weekly basis, and it keeps me, like Kevin was just saying, keep making it happen, right? So one of the things that we have never had the ability to do is use a certain type of lens that is very popular in the cinematic world, which is anamorphic lenses. So anamorphic lenses is something that I've been looking to get into myself, but me coming more from a photography background, I was always using my spherical lenses to do that type of like work and transition, to do kind of like double duty. But I had my eye, as some of you already known, on the set of Blazar Beetle lenses that I had seen it was NAB, and I didn't remember which event it was, but it was that Brandon and Jarrell and Mr. Cam Mackey, because he was like with the booth with Blazar hanging out over there, and that's when they first showed the Beetle lenses, and then they came available later this year. And during Black Friday, they went on super sale, and I just couldn't. And I decided to invest in myself, which was one of those things that, people always say. And I know there are a set of lenses, and you're like, you invested in lenses, but let me make it make sense. So, all right, hold on. Let me see about this. That just came in like really loud, and she's speaking. So all right, so I invested in myself, and I really said, like, you know what, I'm investing in myself, and I want to create content around these lenses. So I bought the whole set, and they were supposed to come in on Wednesday, but they came in early on Monday, and I was really excited that I even did a impromptu live stream of the unboxing of my new Blazar lenses. The thing about anamorphic lenses is that they take a wider range of view, right? Field of view, and they squeeze it so it doesn't look proportionately correct. And that squeeze factor is depending on how like extreme or like how intense the squeeze factor is depending on how much information you're cramming into the sensor. So it's like you're kind of force feeding extra light or more information of light onto the sensor. The thing is that your camera is going to need to be equipped with the feature so that it will take that information and then de-squeeze it, as we say, and give you an output that is usable so that you can see your framing correct. The one thing that these cameras and monitors also do not have is the ability to bypass that information so that then we can use it like in a live stream use case like we're using, like right now. That's something that was impossible because even connecting it that way, you'd see it correct on the monitor, but the monitor wouldn't output that information. So when the capture card or whatever it is that you were using to bring it to your computer, it will once again look squished and wonky because it wasn't in the correct format. And for that reason is why anamorphic lenses have not been used on live streaming at all until now. And that's where this investment in myself come into play, because I got my hands on the Beetle lenses. And what I found out right away is that this was designed to be a post-production tool where you record it onto the camera in that squozed format, right, into the compression, and you see it on the monitor for correct framing, but all of the work is done in your NLE or your timeline on your editor, where you will de-squeeze it correctly to look correctly and then edit the video from there. Well, because I'm so big into live streaming and I was really liking the look that I was getting from these anamorphic lenses, I wanted to replace my main camera with one of these anamorphic lenses, which was the plan. And that's where, if I didn't invest in myself and at first purchase these lenses, I would have never had the want or the need to decompress this information on the fly. Well, that's what led me to taking the time this week and hunkering down and really tunneling, right, and focusing in and doing something that I have never done before. And I'm glad to say, or I'm proud to announce to all of you that I also am, like Doc always says, eating my own dog food. I come in here every single week and I say, upgrade your skills before your gear. And that's what I did. And I acquired a new skill this week of learning how to code and write an application for the Mac computer. And you might be asking, what application did you write for it? Well, what I wrote was a code that allows me to take the signal, wonky as it is, from a camera using an anamorphic lens, and the camera itself does not need to support anamorphic features. I'm able to then take that footage, bring it into the application, and address the appropriate squeeze factor depending on the lens that you're using. Once it's done, I'm able to send the signal over NDI, and the program that I use every single week here, Ecamm, to do this live stream, now picks it up automatically, and I am able to utilize that footage correctly. And I'm going to demonstrate that to you today, because I am so proud to say that now I am officially a Apple developer, and I am just waiting for the confirmation for this new application to hit the app stores, where you can pick it up for yourself if you so desire to go cinematic and live stream with anamorphic lenses. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, what we're looking at right here is just traditionally what my shot normally looks like, but it does have these properties of the anamorphic lenses. Because I have it cropped in correctly in just the same way that I normally do, it's kind of hiding the nice juiciness of the widescreen of anamorphic lenses. But one of the tails of anamorphic lenses is amazing lens flares. And I'm just gonna grab my phone over here and turn on the flashlight so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about, that the lens flare is going to streak across the screen as if it were like some Transformers movie, right? Is it strong enough? Maybe it's not. Hold on. Maybe I got too many lights on right now, but guess what? Oh, we're gonna get a light. Let's see if this guy is bright enough. Yeah. See these long stretched out lens flares? That's what you get with anamorphic cinema. There we go. We just needed a more powerful light. Looking like a Transformer Michael Bay movie. But the thing is that to get and enjoy all of that anamorphicness, we're gonna need to go a bit wider. But before we go wider, I'm gonna first show you how the image would look normally if it didn't have this de-squeeze factor at all. So I'm gonna go to the preview, and this is what the camera looks with an anamorphic lens attached to it. And this is my A7C Mark II, so this camera does not have anamorphic lens support, and because of it, it's gonna bring the image in all squished. So let me go ahead and click over to that, and this is the anamorphic lens. And you know, if I just jump back to the previous one, right where it's fixed, you're gonna see that we're losing a lot of information. As soon as I jump back this way, you see that there's a pole over here. You can see this whole camera in the back, because this is all of the extra information that the anamorphic lens is able to squeeze onto the sensor. But it's gonna look squozed just like that until you fix it correctly. And once it's fixed, you're able to then go into Ecamm and adjust the image size to custom, and you're able to customize it and stretch your image out to full anamorphic glory. And that's what you're able to do now on a live stream. You're able to get all of the great juicy anamorphic lens flares, and you can do it on a live. Any anamorphic lens this application will be able to handle, because of the simple fact that it goes up to full on 2x. And even though it has the preset numbers for your anamorphic lenses as they are right now, the 1.33x, the 1.8, the 2.0, if you desire to have it, you know, even more granular, it has a slider bar that allows you to adjust it on the fly so that you can get the right amount of de-squeeze factor that you desire on your lens, and you'd be able to use it as an NDI camera, because that's the great part about it. It's a wireless signal that you're now sending, and Ecamm can pick it up. This also means that you can run it on a completely separate computer in a completely different location, just as long as it's connected to your network and it's going to transmit it through NDI. And you don't even need to have Ecamm running on that computer. You just need to have my application running on it and have your main computer open with Ecamm like I do with my production, and have that camera connected. And now you have image from that camera, anamorphic, on a remote location, just as long as it's within the same network, and you'll be able to bring it into your production. So I saw a need and like a want in this amazing application, and the way that, you know, some of us creators want to use it. And that's when you get this anamorphic. And from anamorphic, from Ecamm, you also go anamorphic to cinematic, which is where you bring in the famous black bars. And now this is your live stream, and this gives a completely different feel. And I know people who are watching this on the televisions are going to really notice the difference of the anamorphic lens and what that brings to it. And also to demonstrate, within my Ecamm, I did exactly that. On my computer in the back, I have this application running on my Mac Mini, and I have my A7 Mark II, A7R Mark II hanging out in the back, and I have one of the 3 anamorphic lenses set to it, and I have that signal sent over here via NDI. And let me show you what that looks like. That should be, oh, and all my sources over here. Oh, it's too bright right now, but I'm still gonna bring it in, because this is the anamorphic camera from the backside. So this is the NDI. Oh, it's a bit choppy right now, but you see, this is the beta version, but not beta, the core version. But I'm gonna see exactly what that is, and I'm excited to say that I'm developing an app that I'm just waiting for approval from Apple to be available on the App Store. And one of the things that I'm going to address, and I have some people who are already going to be testing this out, is to see exactly how it works off the wireless like this. But as you can see, we're still getting that extra wide, and we're squeezing all of that information through the application and then sending it wirelessly. So it could be that I'm live streaming so that I'm uploading right now as well, because before it was working fine, but that's why we test these things. And I'm just, more than anything, I'm extremely proud of myself, because I never would have thought that I would be able to add developer of an app that you can find in the App Store for all Mac computers in my life. These are one of these things that I referenced that comment before. It's easier to, like, what was it? It was you just don't know the path, you just walk the path. And that's what I felt happened this week. Like, it was almost like a mission where I just needed to get this done, because there had been plenty of times in my life where I've had these like ideas to create something, and I've never either had the time, the resources to execute on it. And the idea floats away, and that's it. And then a couple of years down the road, I see that same item being sold at Walmart, and I'm just like, man, I thought of that such a long time ago. But not being to strike the iron while it's hot is the difference between creating and not. And this week, that's what I'm most proud of, that I hunkered down and I was able to complete something, and not only complete the application, but complete the process to even upload it to Apple, which is a $4 trillion company. And I'm just blown away with the fact that that application is going to be available to creators in 175 different countries through the distribution of the App Store, which is mind-boggling to me. And it's something that I never foreseen, and I was never saying like this is something that I wanted to do. But like I mentioned before, one of the things that I've recently noticed is that I really like fixing things, whether if it's broken or just like almost like upcycling. And I love the ability of just fixing situations. And I created a situation with anamorphic lenses, and then also created a solution. And that's what I'm like extremely proud of. Now I'm just gonna let the chips fall where they may, and I have a completely different outlook on so many different things. I'm not only reaching out to my content creator friends from the YouTube platform to see who's interested in just testing this out for themselves, but then at the same time, oh my God, there's so many things that I'm thinking about that I lost track what I was saying. I'm just gonna roll with it, yeah, because I'm really proud that I was able to complete it, and there is a sense of completion that I think I've never felt before. And it was just like this piece when it was done and submitted to Apple, where I just felt like I did it. Like I struck the iron while it was hot, and like I was saying, now I'm gonna let the chips fall where they may. And I'm just hoping for things to change, because I'm really hopeful and excited for this opportunity, and to see where it goes from there. Oh, that's what I was saying, that not only was I reaching out to my creator friends on YouTube, but that I was also emailing manufacturers of anamorphic lenses, right? Just to see if they want to try it out internally, to see if they're interested in trying out an anamorphic D-squeeze that you can use in a Zoom meeting, right? And that's basically where I'm at right now. I'm just super excited, and I see a lot of potential, because I also went onto the App Store, right? And if you type in anamorphic right now on the App Store, there is no live D-squeeze. Everything is post-production, And I gotta tell you, I'm just super excited because this isn't like, I don't think this is cornering a market. I think this is creating a market, and I'll be the first one in line, yeah, to have done it. And I'm really excited for that possibility of what that can lead. 2026 is gonna just blow my mind. I already know it. I have this feeling inside, and it's like it couldn't have come at a better time. Episode 262 of this live stream of weekly, and it's just like 5 years, and I'm here for it, and I'm here for all of the amazing change, and I'm just super super excited because another thing is that this unknowingly to me was the image that I've been looking for my live stream for a long time, right? Like I was always twisting and bending my cameras to get this, like nice tight rectilinear lines, and the anamorphic lens is just hitting all the boxes. It's got a nice softness to this. It's got the lens flares. It's got nice glow. I already have my Pro Mist in front of it and my teleprompter, and it's just all set, ready to go. And I'm just like ecstatic more than anything, and looking forward to what's gonna be coming about, because I see a lot of collaborations on this YouTube platform in my near future, and I'm just like, I don't think I've ever been this excited, guys. Like I don't think I slept at all yesterday, just because of the simple fact of like how blown away I was once it was complete. It was like the best way that I could explain it, it was like as soon as I was done, I felt this calm and peace, because it was like I had finally come up for air, because I was just in it for like the week, actually less than a week, because I got the lenses on Monday, and I believe I started working on this on Tuesday. And to say that by Friday I was able to complete an application and have it submitted to Apple, and like all the check boxes done, I sit back and I just said, I don't even know how I did it. I don't know. And I'm excited to see what the results are going to be. So now, if you're watching this as well and you're an anamorphic lens enthusiast and are thinking about messing around with live streaming, do not hesitate to reach out to me to see about how we can maybe get this in your hands to test it out, and let me know what you think of what I created here. We're always talking about creations here on, like creators in the platform. And one of the things that I've always said is that like a creator's not just gonna create the videos on the platform, and that's just the way that I feel. Like I'm gonna bring a piece of memorabilia from the back in the day. Let me grab it. And some of you are gonna remember this. From where we started, guys, from where we started to I'm just so grateful for all of you that have been here with me and have allowed me to do this, because even, which I doubt, if nothing were to come about this application that I've made, it's like a diploma for myself. It's something like I did something that I never expected to do. Like I said, I get to put Apple Mac computer application developer on the resume, and it was something that I'd never foreseen. So going from making my own lights because I didn't have any other option to create content, to having a full-fledged studio with more cameras surrounding me that I can shoot with in a day. I'm so grateful, and I thank all of you for joining me in this epic adventure. And there's gonna be huge changes coming soon. I can't tell you what they are. I just can tell you that I feel it. And I don't need convincing. Like I said, it's just a knowing. And I'm excited for the future that I'm going to be able to build for my son Aiden, for my father with the time that he has left here, and with all of you. There's only bigger and better things coming my way, and I'm so ready to receive them. So my biggest heartfelt sentiments to all of you that in one way or another have made this possible, giving me the ability to just keep taking swings, you know, keep getting at bats, because it only takes one to knock it over the fence. So thank you. All right, now I'm gonna go back to the chat, because honestly, this right here, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button. Is absolutely free. And you know what else is free? Subscriptions on the YouTube platform. So don't hesitate and subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified of the next live stream, the next impromptu live stream, or the next piece of content that I'll be putting out. I'm really excited to make more content about a creation of an application that I made. I can't emphasize, there's just a whole new level of like giddiness, because I actually made something that I made for everyone, so to speak, right? And I'm excited to share that with everyone. So anyways, let's go back to the chat. I'm gonna go to this scene because this just looks perfect. I gotta tell you the truth. You know, this comment scene right here, this one, this is what I was always trying to do. Like, that's what I was always trying to get, the extra wideness, you know, that, and everything fits. It's just, oh, so good. And I don't know, I just feel like it brings myself like closer into the image, and you're able to, like, I'm able to bring you in more into my home here, like we do every single week. All right, back to the chat. Let me see what we're doing here. All right. Okay, Gretchen's got a guess. Says, meet two behind you in the back desk, sitting below and to the left of the orange. In the gap. All right, you got it perfectly. As soon as you said in the gap, I was like, all right, you did get it. So points for Gretchen. But you know what? I wish I could tell you how many points, because I think it's like 3. I think it was like 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks that has been sitting there. So let me go ahead and grab that. Let's see if we see it here. Oh, there it is. Right there in the gap. There. Meet two and point for Gretchen. Oh, make sure that we got the meet two. That guy's been sitting there for weeks. He's been getting dusty. So good job, Gretchen. And you weren't here last week, and Mookie actually got a point. Mookie found the film canister. So those of you who are also new here, we play a like scavenger hunt kind of Easter egg game. We have the meet two. We have a thumbs up like emoji that Matt Haas makes, which always reminds me to hit the thumbs up if you haven't. And then also a old school 35mm film canister, which I'm always rotating throughout the set. And as you can see, Gretchen just guessed the correct location of the Meet 2 camera. He's been sitting there for a while, so I got to find another good location for that. Happy anniversary, says K-Well. How are you doing, Kathy? Thank you for hanging out. Excellent job, Lewis. Thank you, Randy. I think this is talking about my app. Hey, Robert, it's been a while. He says, happy number 5. Thank you, sir. It says, where and when can I get this app? You know what? I'm so giddy about it. I'm going to check right now, because I submitted it late last night, around 2 to 2:30 in the madrugada, how we say in Puerto Rico, in the AM. Because that's when I was able to finish all the little requisites that Apple was requiring. And once it's submitted, that's when I was just like, it's done. Like there's no more T's to cross, no more I's to dot, nothing. Like everything was there. You know, like I'm talking about everything, like creating a app like icon and creating like web pages on my Notion so that there's a breakdown of how to use the application, creating screenshots, all of this. And now it's submitted, waiting for approval. And they said that it can take from 24 to 48 hours. But like I said, 24 hours would be at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm just like checking every once in a while, just because that's exactly what they said about everything else. And things have just been moving so like rapidly. And that's what I was telling you guys, that I was able to start on Tuesday and by Friday have it submitted. Is just, yeah, it's like as soon as I finished, I felt like I just came up and broke the surface and like came up for air, and I was just like, that's it, no more like underwater, so to speak. So but the app is going to be available, sir, on the App Store. So you'll be able to open up the App Store on your computer, type in anamorphic, and I know my application is going to be right there. There's only like 7 applications, and like 4 of them have nothing to do with anamorphic. It's just, it says something like anamorph, but it's more about like the lens flares that you can add to a photo to make it as if it were anamorphic, but they're not any anamorphic apps. So now it's something that I just never thought that I'd be able to like take advantage of, being the first to market with an application at all. Like there's no other application that does this in the world. Like that's what I think I'm taken back by, that there's like, I made an industry first something. And I'm so proud. I think you guys could see it. It's all over on my face. I wish I had more of like a celebration, like 5 years, and I had a video to show about like all the things, but that wasn't something that I was able to do. But guess what? There's gonna be year 6 and year 7, and one of these days we'll be able to get there. But this was the week that I needed to strike the iron while it was hot. And that's what I did. It's like, that's what I feel. I feel like a blacksmith who finished forging something, and I'm just like now it's in the oil, and I'm just waiting to pull it out. And as soon as I get an email from Apple that says, hey, it's viable, like I said, you'd be able to find it on all Apple computers in the App Store, which is like, I'm saying these things, guys, and I'm almost like pinch myself moment that I said that I created something that is going to be available on every Apple computer in the world. And to be the first to market with an application that could be distributed all over the world were just not things that I ever thought I'd be saying and accomplishing 5 years ago when we started this journey. And that's all has to do with upgrading the skills and just acquiring more tools on like this Batman tool belt and putting it all together. And now we're here. Hey, Mr. Seals in the house saying, hello, mate. Whoa, 5 years. Nice. Hopefully I did justice to the Australian accent there. Nice. There's this joke that I've heard that they say, how do Australians say raise up the lights? And he says that you just say razor blades. Razor blades. Razor blades. Razor blades. If you say it like that, you can see how it's a raise up lights. It's hilarious, but those are the Aussies that I follow with the car content down under. So I love car content. So there's so much good car content in Australia. Grandma is saying, I volunteered to test it for the grandma crowd. Absolutely. We'll get you an anamorphic lens. And you know what else I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to show you in real time, once again, what I'm doing. I'm going to take my Nikon Z30 that I have hanging up here, right? I'm going to show you the shot. And then I'm going to throw my Blazar 65 millimeter on it, and you'll see the difference of the image right away, how wonky it gets. And then I'm gonna take my application and I'm gonna convert it and show you how it can be done in real time, because it's super easy. You know what? You know what else I'm gonna do? Let me see if I could show you guys this. Yeah, because I'm just like ecstatic. Right now I'm going into like the behind the scenes, the App Store Connect for Apple. And my app is still being waiting for review. But this is what I wanted to see if I can show you. Let me see if I can get to this edit screen. What are we seeing here? Bam. Okay. So these are the screenshots. So this is the application and the UI. This is what it looks like. And let me click the next one. You can see it. Yep. So it says, you see the first one literally just says select your camera, because you do it from the drop down, whether it's a webcam, a USB-C connected, camera like the FX30 or the A7C. If you're connecting it via USB-C, you just drop down and select it there, right? It's gonna have the squeeze onto the image, so you select the de-squeeze factor that your lens is set to. You name your stream, and then you click start NDI. That's it. 4 easy steps, and then you go into your favorite, live streaming application, whether it's OBS with NDI capabilities or anything that will be able to read that, even NDI like camera readers, and you'll be able to pick up the image because it's being sent over NDI and through your network, and you're able to use an anamorphic de-squeezed image in your live streams. And that's how easy it is. Bam. And you see, with the power of Ecamm, you're able to go from extremely wide to like what I call the cinema right here. When we go to the cinema and we got the black bars, but you're able to now adjust it, and all of that's done together. So if you're looking to get into live streaming, you need to get Ecamm, and the links are in the description. And if you want to get into anamorphic live streaming, then you need to get my application, and that's going to be called, or it's called actually, but you'll be able to look it up, is MCJ anamorphic NDI, and that's it. It's just self-explanatory. It's got these screenshots that also make it self-explanatory, and I also think that I made it intuitive enough that it doesn't even seem like you need instructions. It's just like select and go. But we're gonna find out, and that's why we're doing the beta testing around here, and I'm just really excited because I've gotten a lot of really good feedback from my content creator friends. One of them was like, oh my god, finally like anamorphic live streaming. And that, I can't even tell you, like, that is just the coolest affirmation about something that I created. And I just wish every single one of you in one way or another could feel what I'm feeling right now. It is a level of accomplishment that I've never experienced before, and I'm just so excited for what it can lead to, or what it's going to lead to. It's going to open a lot of doors for me, and I'm going to get to meet a lot of amazing people because I did a thing. I think it's pretty cool, but I did a thing. So Gretchen's going to be testing it out for the grandma crowd. Robert says, I shoot anamorphic both micro four thirds and full frame all the time. Well, now you can see that now you can get these squeeze factors. I'm already like, I'm down. Like, I can't wait to get like a two times anamorphic and throw it on here and get even more and squeeze. It's just, my God, cinema live streams. That's what we're gonna see, and that's what's just an amazing thing. This is something that has never been offered before, but now I'm thinking, you know, like, let's say like church productions where you have multiple cameras. Now you're able to get a more cinematic look and have like these set cameras in different positions throughout like the church and being able to connect to them via NDI. There's just so much potential for what I created this app for, and I put it in the best use case with my mind of saying how would I use it, or how would I want it to work, and that's what I put into this app. No thrills, no frills, just production and how it works. And this is a testament. This is a live stream that I'm using this application in real time, and there's updates to come for anything that, you know, like could become a potential hiccup. I'm just outside of myself right now because I never thought that I would have something like this. So the journey is important. Yes, it is. Oh, Gretchen, look at this. How you're the best. You're the best. You guys don't have to, but my God, like, you guys are so amazing. She sent a super chat, says, thank you for bringing us along your journey. It's an inspiration to watch you drive success. Gangsta Grandma is so happy for you. Thank you. And guys, you have no idea how much I appreciate every single one of you. You made this right along with me. Like, I've gotten to this point, but I'm telling you, we got to this point because I couldn't have done it without you guys. And that's why I will forever be grateful, because you're gonna allow me to do amazing things for my son, which is why I do what I do. And my life is gonna be a testament to that. My smile is gonna be a representation. I don't think, guys, like, I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to take this shit-eating grin off my face. So I'm glad that you're here for it. Oh, Paul got a point. Say film canister next to the AX, which is not an AX. You know what it is, but I'm gonna let that one slide. That's my alpha sign. And yeah, I kind of almost gave it away when I was showing the other one. I was like, hey, there's a thing right over here. And then I kind of like pointed to it right there. But there he goes, yes. I tried to sneak it in with the colors. But point for Paul. This is the film canister, 35 millimeters. There we go. That's all right. 2 of 3. But Paul is officially on the board because that's the first one that he's got. So I'm excited for this. All right. Yes, Gretchen is amazing. All of you guys who super chat and support me in whichever way. That's what I tell you guys. Like, you don't have to, but when you do, it means so much to me. So don't think that I ever take that lightly. That is just the most amazing thing. And that's such an amazing sign of love. I appreciate all of you guys so much. Oh, Randy thought that it was in front of me, in front of the smaller E, but it was not. As you can see, Paul found it. Oh, I think he did, but Paul got it first. In front of the E. There's an E there? No, there's the Pokemon things. Just trying to stay like aware of exactly what's happened. But Paul stole it already. Gretchen got it too. Where I got it? Now it's on top of my computer. Yes, Gretchen is amazing. Says I need to contact Nikon to get commission for anamorphic lens conversion. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. Look, let's see what's camera B. No, this is This is the red. Look, that shot looks amazing. That's cinematic. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna let you know. I'm already gonna make a mount for the red to take, even if it's off by a millimeter or two, right? I should be able to compensate with the focus, right? So if the focus sits there and I'm off by a millimeter, I think I'm gonna sacrifice that to be able to throw E-mount lenses onto the red over here, and look forward to that, because that's just another project that I might be doing maybe tomorrow on a Sunday. Oh no, tomorrow Pops has a doctor's appointment, so I have to take him over there, like must do. So I'm not gonna be live streaming tomorrow, but still coming soon, where I am going to be making an E-mount conversion for the red camera right here, the red MX. Let me get something. Okay, so that's that shot. This is the iPhone camera, and this is the Nikon. Okay, so we have the Nikon, and this is the look that you can get out of it. Look, we can go extra wide, and we can go in. Right, it's a really cool setup because I have the ability to do that, but we don't have the anamorphic support. So real quick, what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump back, or to show you right before I jump back, I'm going to turn this one off so you can see I'm turning it off. Actually, you know what? Let's go to this one so you can see it. All right. I just turned off the camera, pressing the button, and I'm disconnecting the lens. Yeah, actually, you know what? This iPhone is also coming in through NDI. So maybe both of those NDI signals coming from the back of the room, those are the ones that look a bit choppy. Maybe if I only run one, maybe it'll be fine. Okay, so we have the Beetle lens right here. I'm gonna have to back up for the demonstration as well, because this is the 65 millimeter. But what I'm going to do is just connect the Blazer lens to my my adapter. This is the E-mount to Z, and now I'm gonna take that lens and just throw it right onto the Z30. Gonna turn that bad boy on, and it's absolutely out of focus. Let's see if I can get anything in focus. Yep, we'll see, because it is hella zoomed in. So you know what? This is a trick that I can show you guys, which is why I have this over here. Oh, I'm like frozen. Absolutely frozen. Let's see here. Let's go back to this one. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it back here. Just because, yeah, I think this is going to be a good place. And with that there, I'm going to now focus there, and now that's in focus, and that's where I'm going to stand. So when I stand over there with this anamorphic lens, I will be in focus and in frame. 1 second, Aiden. You hear a bit. Oh no, it's boy, he's on time. It's 11. He's like, yo, buddy, it's time to kill the live stream. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. Okay, let me go ahead and go back to this camera. All right, and you can see very squozed in. Very squozed in. And if I back up, I'll be in focus. But now we have that anamorphic squeeze. See? Like a squozeth. And this is normally what's going to happen. Most cameras do not have anamorphic support. And even if they do, they don't broadcast that out through HDMI in any way that's feasible so that you can use it in a live stream. That's why I made the application that I felt was necessary. So let's go ahead, and now I'm going to change things up. I'm actually going to go to the B cam, because I'm going to have to turn off the NDI, which is the main camera, and then I'm gonna have to like replace it with this one because I'm gonna have to do that in the NDI. So hopefully I explained that correctly. So what I'm doing right now is I'm stopping the NDI feed. So it just cut off the camera connection that I had running directly to it, which was my main camera over here, the main A7C Mark II. Aiden's on my butt right now. You know what? Let me go set his cartoons again. Is this really a Christmas song? I gotta check that playlist again because I did put the Christmas songs. Okay, so I turned off the NDI, and what I'm gonna do is now I'm switching the video capture card that I had that was running from that one, and I'm gonna switch it to the Camlink, which is running. Okay, the Camlink that's running the Nikon. It's set up to do the actual D-squeeze, and now I'm gonna hit start NDI, and now that becomes the NDI camera that is running over here. Let me see what we have for camera A. Perfect, it is the same one. So now when I go to my A shot, this is the Nikon descosified. You can see, so now this is the 65mm from across the room, but this is the image that you can get, and as you can see, it does have a lot more of, it's just a different type of look when it comes to the compression that you're getting on anamorphic lenses. But I want to go full cinematic so you can see what I'm talking about. I gotta like scoot down a bit. But this is the look and feel that you can get now on a live stream. So after 5 years of doing this, I'm happily like so ecstatic to introduce the MCJ anamorphic NDI application that allows you to use anamorphic lenses on live streams or any live production. Should I say more? All right, so now I'm gonna reverse everything because of the teleprompter. So once again, I'm gonna go to camera 1, camera B. I'm gonna stop the NDI, go select the correct one, start that NDI, and now everything should be fixed-ith. Once again, there we go, see? And then we go back to the anamorphic into the cinema, and we're good to go with, and you see, that's what I'm most proud of, guys. I'm showing you in real time how easy the application is to utilize. That's it. Like, you can just switch on lenses and do comparisons and do so much. I just foresee a future of a bunch of content creators creating content with programs like Ecamm, and now having the accessibility to use anamorphic lenses in their content. I'm just ecstatic that I was able to make it, right? To create this. And like I said, I struck while the iron's hot. So yeah, I'm contacting everyone. Nikon, everyone. Says I meant the A, then realized it wasn't the small E. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. This is so funny. He says Bob is checking out anamorphic lenses on KEH and MPB to go with my 5D Mark III. Oh, you're so awesome. I can't wait to send it to you. David saying Luis saying thanks, Gretchen. Says looking good in anamorphic. I absolutely love this. Like, to tell you the truth, like, there was gonna be some changes that are gonna be made. This is one of them. This is probably gonna be my shot moving forward, right? Because on top of it, I'm getting all the goodness of the shot that I love, plus is giving this perfect space for the comments where my beard was always being cut off. You know, these are just things that I just chalked up to, hey, we're going live and I'm having so much fun. But now to be able to pull up comments on the screen, and that is not gonna like mesh, you know, or it's not gonna like overlap like that. A cinematic tool. Thank you. I'm gonna be putting all these things. I can't, you know, like I'm excited because I'm gonna have like legitimate testimonials of people saying like, oh, this is exactly the tool that I was waiting for and things like that. I'm just over the moon. I'm over the moon. He says you can use diopters to get closer focus and having to step back. Oh, I understand that, but I normally wouldn't put the 65 millimeter because I got the set of lenses. So the widest one, which is the 32 millimeter, but acts like a 24 millimeter, is what you're seeing right here, which is one of my favorite focal lengths as well. So it's like all falling into place. The one that I have in the back over there, that one is the 45 millimeter that acts like a 35 millimeter. And then the one that I threw up here was the 65 millimeter that acts like a 50 millimeter. Now I love 50 millimeter, but that one most likely should be like in the back. But when I threw it on here, it was also just still a bit too tight for the look that I wanted. So the two that I chose to run with in my setup, right, is gonna be the 24, which is already locked in there. But this is the cool part. I think I'm gonna switch the cameras back because I actually love using my A7C Mark II, and even though it's here on the tripod, like I will be using that camera in hand a lot more than I'd be using my A7R Mark II, which is why I had it there. And I was thinking that the camera was the one that was like taking, you know, a you know, a dip, so to speak, in its production, but it happened to be the Camlink cards that were giving me the choppiness in the 4K, and it had nothing to do with the cameras themselves. So I'm like, I feel confident enough to be able to throw that one back on here with the anamorphic, which is why it's like I needed this application, because that camera definitely doesn't have anamorphic lens support, and be able to utilize it and just kind of set it and forget it, get the look that I want, and use a camera that normally would just sit on the shelf collecting dust. Plus, it puts my A7C back in my hand so that I can use it for all of the other things that I enjoy so much, like taking photos of Aiden. One of my favorite things to do. So yeah, that's where we're at. Boom. All right, we are getting to the end. I gotta be honest with you, something happened this week with YouTube when I went to check my subscriptions, which I have like over 400. I was just scrolling to see who was going to be this week's Cities Gone, and I didn't find one because everyone on the list had already been on there, if that makes sense. And when I hit subscriptions, it didn't lead me to the next page where I would see the list of like the 400 that I'd be able to pick something else, but no, nothing there. So because I wasn't able to see my list, I wasn't able to bring you a Cities Gone. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't able to speak to Chad and at least get you some snap decisions. All right, so let's go back to the anamorphic one. Here we go. And let me see if I can pull that up. There we go. All right, so let's see what questions Mr. Chad from GPT gave us this week in this episode of Snap Decisions. So if you're the first time here and you don't know what Snap Decisions is, it's basically a would you rather set of questions. We do 3 questions weekly, and this is where you get to participate in the chat and let me know, would you rather do this or would you rather do that? So question number 1, which is considered the easy one. Would you rather have every new camera released automatically appear in your studio, or have unlimited accessories and mounts for your existing gear? Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so the question is, would you rather have every new camera released automatically appear in your studio, or have unlimited accessories and mounts for your existing gear? I absolutely love rigging my stuff out. I like can't get enough of it. It's like adult Legos. But if you're asking me which one I prefer, I would say I would prefer to have every new camera release automatically appear in my studio. Because with the cameras, as a camera junkie, I'm always gonna make some use out of it. And I'm already, being honest with you, already getting to the point where I have more than enough cage gear to hook up all my cameras. So because I have so much gear, I would prefer to have all the cameras so that I can rig all of them out, and I have no problem buying as much accessories as I need for all the endless amount of cameras that would just show up automatically at my door. So if it were me in this case, even though it doesn't seem traditional, I think I would do all of the new cameras, because I would just have a blast. And then like, I could reuse the gear, right? Like, I have like 6 different top handles for cameras, and like, it's only 1 or 2 that I'm using at the time, right? And 4 live in my Husky, workbench now. So it would be nice to have some extra cameras, create rig junkie stuff around. That's what I would pick. So let me see what you guys said. Gretchen says accessories includes lenses, then B. That's a tough one, Gretchen. See? Because now that brings a whole new thing. If it was lenses, I'm glass before ass. It would be that. But it wasn't that. It was like, and I gotta be honest with you, I don't consider lenses an accessory. That's an essential part of any camera gear. So you pick which one you want. And if you have interchangeable lenses, then you have the ability to change those lenses. Some cameras don't have that. So that is not like an accessory, because it's not an add-on. Without a lens, you don't have a camera or functioning images that you can like use. So that's where I would say, because I don't consider lenses accessories, that's where I'm gonna stick to my camera thing. But I feel you. So I'm gonna say, Gretchen, just taking it that saying, oh, you said it right after. It goes, if it doesn't, then I mean A. Yeah, going by me, I would say no, lenses are not accessories. That's a necessity. And like I did this, this past week, it is an investment in yourself, not just, your gear. So there you go. It might spawn a brand new desire to create an application out of nowhere. And that's the whole thing. I would never have made this application if I didn't pull the trigger on these Blazar lenses, because there wouldn't have been a need for me to make it. And that's why I said, once again, this is all part of investing in myself, and I'm really proud of myself for doing it this way. So Mookie says new cameras have MCJ 3D printed me some accessories. Absolutely. See, that's exactly what I was thinking too, but I didn't want to say. I'm like, I'm gonna be making a lot of these accessories, like I'm gonna be 3D printing, but I didn't want to say it like that. Robert also says cameras. Says, I've arrived late. Congrats on 5 years, and let's go for at least 40 more. Absolutely, man. Like I said, I don't like, if you're here for it, so am I, because I don't see any end in sight. And now I'm like, look, I have a whole new vision for my future that like I didn't have a week ago. And I'm just so amazed, grateful, and ecstatic about it all at the same time. All right. Question number 2, so we can let you guys go and we can have a good night. Question number 2, the medium one. Would you rather own every piece of software with lifetime updates, or have the fastest computer in the world but only one app that works on it? That, to me, is not even hard. That's not even hard. And I would own every piece of software with lifetime updates. Absolutely. I don't need to be at the bleeding edge of technology, but then only have one application that works on it. No. You see, I have my Mac Studio, which was bleeding edge technology 4 years ago, but I've gotten, boy, so much out of this computer. Like I've built so much with it, right? And I can't believe that it's already been 4 years, right, that I've had this Apple computer, and it's not the latest. It's the M1 series chip, and now we're at like M4 or M5, right? And the technology keeps advancing over and over and over again. So that for me, I would say, yeah, software with lifetime updates where I'd be able to utilize all of the different software. Imagine like you could only use Final Cut, and now I can't use Chat from GPT. Like I'll be like, what? That makes no sense. So that one to me was a no-brainer. I would do the lifetime updates hands down. Plus lifetime updates, that's what we all want from applications. And guess what? If you buy my application, the MCJ anamorphic NDI, man, that's just, I can't wait to just say that more and more. That's what you get. A one-time payment, and you get the app for life. And I'm just ecstatic to be able, like I said, to produce that, make it, and oh my god, I just can't wait. I can't wait for Apple to send me my email and say, hey, you're ready to rock and roll on the App Store, and I can send friends and family to go pick it up, right? And leave me some good reviews, right? Like, you guys, I foresee this app trending on this page. Like, and like I said, I have no reason to say like I know it's going to happen, but I have a feeling like when there's an application that doesn't exist anywhere and then just starts getting a good recognition, we'll let the chips fall where they may. But this is my small boat in the water for the saying, a rising tide raises all ships. Well, I feel that this application is, I actually got my boat in the water, and I'm happy to see where this tide is going to take us. So the software, everybody's saying software, absolutely. Like, right, that was like a no-brainer. King Crook is in the house. He says, I don't know what the Blazar look like, but I think I'm going to rent Master Anamorphics for my next project. Hey, but it's like crack, okay? So be careful, because you know, like, you're gonna love the look, and then you're gonna not want to use anything else. Just FYI, just throwing it out there, because I'm like, this is gonna be a permanent fixture of my live stream setup. This lens, I'm gonna get so much use out of it, and only if I need to use it for a project outside of my studio that I would ever take this off of the camera. Period. All right, let me continue over here. Software. Paul also saying software. That is a very nice compliment. Thank you, says Lewis. Software and hardware engineer trendsetter. Thank you, sir. That does mean a lot to me, because yeah, like, there's actual hardware that's available. There's software, there's digital downloads, there's so many things. And now app developer and app creator on the Apple App Store. These are one of these, like, never in my wildest dreams moments. Like, I would have never thought, like, because even when I used to do computers, I was always hardware. Like, I used to talk to the programmer guys, and I'll be like, bro, like, you're speaking a different language. And I just, so, you know, it all comes full circle, and I'm here for it. All right, last question, so we can close things out. The hard one of the night. Would you rather never feel gear envy again, or have the most expensive setup possible, but always think it's not enough? I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is kind of like a mulligan question, guys. I'm gonna be honest, because I don't feel gear envy, period. And because I don't feel gear envy, the second one, doesn't even apply, or have the most expensive setup possible but always think that is not enough. That's quite the opposite. My tag here is upgrade your skills before your gear. I'm all about learning how to create instead of depending on the gear to create for you, and that's the biggest difference. So because of that, like, I can outshoot somebody on an iPhone, then they can have all the expensive gear. And we've probably seen a bunch of those videos online, like, oh, give the novice a $10,000 like camera setup with gimbal and everything, and then give this guy an iPhone, right, with like no budget. And the guy with the iPhone is always gonna rock because he has the skills and he knows what he's doing and he knows what he's looking for. The other person is just like, they say, a chicken with a head cut off, because they're just shooting all over the place. And that's what I feel about open gate shooters. I just had to throw that jab in there. I'm probably gonna end up clipping that, but I couldn't hold it. Like, I couldn't hold a straight face any longer. Okay, that's enough about that. All right, let me see here. So everybody's saying A, never feel gear envy. Well, if you do feel it and this will take it away, then I recommend that as well. But like, that's not really something that affects me. There's a lot of cool, well, I guess it's just like a use case scenario, because I guess I've been around the block enough that there's a lot of things that you end up not using, if that makes sense, right? And you end up picking all these things that you think, like one thing that I don't think I'm ever gonna purchase ever again, and it's not to knock on it, not that I say that I may not rent or ever use again, but purchase for myself, is a gimbal. Like, I've gotten so many amazing shots handheld with the IBIS and things that are coming out into these cameras, that for the like 2-second shot that you would use like a gimbal, you can work it out with a top handle. And if you follow Peter Gregg, you know that you could even get the metadata for the like gyro stabilization, and then really apply a crazy amount of stabilization in post that is just going to be amazing for your footage. So there's a bunch of different options in the workflow that will give you that ability. So that's why I know for a fact that I'm probably never gonna buy a gimbal for myself. Like I said, I'll rent one of the newest ones, but to purchase it, I just feel that that's one of the things that just like it loses value very, very fast, because the features that are built into this model are going to be completely different than the ones next year, and they're going to have like stronger motors and hold all this weight that it literally makes the previous model almost obsolete, because you're like, man, I was struggling with all these things, but I don't want to spend another $1,000 on a gimbal. That's my feelings. Shots fired. Oh, that's right, sir. I know that, right? It's almost like I'm getting into the market at a perfect time, because Sure just came out with a set of autofocus anamorphic lenses. So think about that. So now think about that, you have autofocus lenses that are anamorphic, but you don't have to wait to utilize the footage in post-production. You're able to open up my app and record on the fly. So for example, we're always talking about Ecamm and how it allows you to create the pre-production workflow so that you don't have to edit in post because you're editing on the fly. This is just an addition to it. If you want to edit on the fly using a program like Ecamm, now you're able to de-squeeze your footage anamorphic on the fly as well. So your final outcome, the final files that you get out of Ecamm, are already going to be desquozed. You're going to get the look and feel that you want, and it's going to go right into your editing NLE, ready to rock and roll. What can be better than that? That one, you see, I was able to hold, and that's going to be a clip there. That I have to clip it, because that's just going to be amazing advertisement. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I have something that I'm gonna be able to really advertise, you know, for the anamorphic community week in and week out. It's just, this is the world's first anamorphic live stream. Like, think about that. Like, I haven't even put that into perspective. Sometimes, like, I just, like, that's why I say there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. And I'm just walking the path, guys. Like, I have to look back sometimes and just stop and be like, oh my God, I did that. Like tonight is 5 years, and I wish I had more of an extravagant party, but there were so many things. Some of you guys know, but Aiden had his birthday this week as well. He turned 10 years old, and I'm like ecstatic to see what is the future that I'm gonna be able to build for that little man that I love so much. And I love every single one of you for hanging out here with me and in one way or another making this possible. You guys rock. You guys are the best. It says, I agree. The second one will never satisfy. I still use the older equipment like the Sony A6100 and the ZV-E10, and they're still great. Absolutely. Like, now I'm gonna be on the hunt for all of these used lenses. Like, I'm kind of upset that I didn't pull the trigger on the Suray lenses, that set, because when I went back to it, it had sold on eBay, so I couldn't get that deal. But at the same time, now I'm like all in on anamorphics, and I have a lot of APS-C cameras, so I'm gonna be looking at the Suray lenses that are built for, you know, APS-C. These Beetle lenses, even though they're very, very small, they're tiny. Like, the set is so small, they're very compact. They're also for full frame, so that's also a benefit, that these could be used on, you know, much bigger sensors. So I'm looking forward to messing with a variety of different lenses, right? And just seeing what I can get my hands into with this. Like, I can't wait to get like my next like 2.0 squeeze, 1.8, you know, and everything in between, because I'm able to adjust it to exact specifications for the lens. And like I said, I tried to think ahead of all of the things excuse me, all of the things that could potentially be hiccups for it. And one of the things that I'm going to check out is the wireless connection. I really think that if I were to kill the road capture, the one from the back might work a little bit better, but I'll test that out before we go, you know, like before I put it to the test. But thank you guys. 5 years of live streaming, and it's also the world's first anamorphic live stream. Let's go. Okay, so hold on. It says, I don't envy anyone except for maybe Randy. Because use and test everything. Yes, Randy is amazing, yo. Randy is amazing. He's one of a kind. It says, I started with higher gear, so I can't blame the gear, only my skills. Exactly. And you know, and that's the whole thing. Then certain times that unmotivates people, because they're expecting that the gear is gonna be everything that does it for them, but there is a learning curve. But if you did get the gear, it still falls into play. The same slogan is like, upgrade your skills before your gear. You already have it, which is not a negative. The only thing that I'll tell you is, like, you have more than enough camera if you got a top of the line anything in today's day and age. In all sincerity, that camera hanging right there, boop, right out the tip of my thumb, is the A6600, and I grabbed that the other day and I was like, man, this is an amazing camera. And most people will be like, that is completely like obsolete, when it's not. Absolutely not. You can create so many great things, amazing battery life, amazing image stabilization, and once again, team flip up over team flip out. I prefer the flip up screens. If you're using any wireless microphones that you're not using the top shoe, you know, hot shoe, If you're doing it that way and you're not using that hot shoe for a microphone, there's really nothing better than having the flip up screen and the smaller compact build of the A6600. That's why I bought that camera. As soon as the A6700 was announced and they said it had a flip screen, I was like, A6600. But that's for like everyday photography use. I will say the flip out screen is 100 times better for videography, and for like my rig junkie setups, having the screen on the outside and having it protected also is going to give you the access to to fans and making sure that the cameras aren't going to overheat. All of that is much better on that system. The A6600 is a lot more difficult if you're trying to rig out as far as a cinematic rig. So there's that. Randy's talking to Mookie, says thanks, I'm downsizing, trying not to be a hoarder. Really, Randy? You're gonna say words like that when I got a hoarding wall of lenses over here? It says I use gear for years and years, and I'm not too into gear envy. I can do what I'm pleased with. Being an open gate shooter, I have lots of options open to me. You see, there it goes. Oh, thank you. David says, hold up, congratulations on the app. Yes, absolutely. You know what? Let me see if I could. I'm gonna try a quick screen share so you can see like it working in real time. There it is, but I'm gonna select the application itself, right? Because I can do that at MCJ anamorphic NDI. There it is. Ooh. See? And that's how simple it is. That's what I'm seeing over here on my screen to the left. I'm pointing to it right here, but I'm looking at it, so it looks like I'm looking at it. Even though I know it's floating here, I'm seeing it on the screen there. And yeah, that's how easy it is. If we bring this over here, you should be seeing the big clicker. There you go. And this is the drop down where you select your capture card, your camera itself, whatever it is. And this is the cool part too, right? Like all those moment lenses that you can put on your iPhone. Now you have the ability to de-squeeze that on the fly, so you can connect your iPhone as your webcam, throw one of these like newer, beast grips, like setups, and throw your anamorphic adapters onto your iPhones, and now you're able to de-squeeze it and use an anamorphic look and feel right from your iPhones onto your live streams or whatever type of production that you like. And that's the anamorphic NDI. So yeah, see, like because I'm streaming, none of the effects that I'll do to it will affect my actual image. But you see, you can go classic wide 2 times, right? And just selecting the different widths. But then at the same time, like let's say you got a 1.2, right? Like off of the iPhone. Now you're able to go to 1.2 specifically, and that's why I say you have the presets, but you also have the slider to make your custom anamorphic feel, right? So that you can get it precise and be like, you know what? It's not 1.33, it's 1.34. Bam! Now you got it, because that's exactly how you wanted it. Boop. It shows you like in the app. But if you wanted to make the effects or the changes to take effect, then you'd have to stop and then just restart the NDI, and bam, the application's done. This is something like I can't emphasize enough. I'm really proud that I was able to make a working app for a computer, and now I'm just waiting for Apple to give me the green light to be able to serve it up to all the Apple sheeples, so to speak, that have this computer and can download it through the App Store. So thank you once again, David, for the congratulations. Let me go ahead and take that off of the screen now. Boop. Kill the screen share. Okay. Are there other uses for the app that you see later on? Absolutely. Like I said, it's just through NDI. So like if I wanted to, right, the camera that I have connected in the back, it also becomes like a wireless camera. And you know, even though we have eCam, let's say you're using OBS, you can be using any other type of software, and as long as it has NDI capabilities to receive camera feeds, it'll be able to see this camera. So I can take like my MacBook Air, throw it in the kitchen, throw a long telephoto lens onto the camera, connect it to the computer itself, and all I need to do is run this application. Because you know what, I'm going to bring it back up, right? Let me see the screen share, right? One of the things that you can do, which like I said, because you have the custom field, let's say you wanted to just share this camera through NDI, but you're not using an anamorphic lens, then guess what? You don't have to. You can bring the squeeze factor all the way to 0, right? 1x squeeze, which is just the normal feed. And then you start your NDI and you're running a wireless camera, and anything that you connected to it via capture card, webcam, whatever it is, you'll be able to send it across the network and use it within your production. So that's how easy the application works. And that's the limitless potential, basically, because now not only are you sending your camera feed through NDI on the network, but you can attach any type of lens that you desire, including anamorphic with up to 2x classic squeeze. So that's it in a nutshell. You know, sometimes, you know, you just need a hammer, right? You don't need a power air hammer with a compressor. Sometimes you just need a hammer, and this is that for me. It does exactly what it needs to do, and it doesn't need to do more. But there are features that I have already in mind for version 2.0, because this is just the first version to see and test the market. And once the market is established and building, version 2.0, I already foresee like LUT support, you know, a variety of different things that you'd be able to like want and get out of this application, including multiple camera support. So let's say you could just connect a completely different camera computer on the other side of an event, right? And have that computer just sit there as a standalone and connect 2 or 3, you know. I don't know exactly how the app could go, but maybe, you know, like 2, 3, maybe even 4, depending on your hardware, cameras, and then have all of them sending a NDI signal out to whichever software it is that you're using, so that you can use in your production. In this case, it'll be eCam, and eCam will just see it right in your camera switcher, and you have the accessibility to utilize that. So imagine like church services, concerts, anything that you could imagine that you'd be able to want to use an anamorphic lens. Well, you'd be able to use it live on the spot and not have to wait for post-production to actually get the image that you want. So get the app today. I had to finish that off like that. All right. It says new word going in the dictionary thanks to Lewis. Squoze. That is not, I did not make that up, Gretchen. I appreciate that, but squoze is a well-established word. Those are things that you would do with girlfriends. You would squoze things, if that makes sense. I did a lot of squozing with my girlfriend and my wife, you know, a lot of squozing things. A6600 has a tilt-up screen and full-size battery. Yeah, that's what I said. And IBIS, like, it's such an amazing camera. That's why a lot of people do love the A6700, because it is the A6600 just with a flip-out screen instead of a flip-up. But like I said, it's all your use case. Like right now, which microphone was I rocking? These little guys. I think I paid like $12 on Amazon for this wireless kit. Connect that to the camera. Use a simple microphone or my Rode, right? And if that's what you're using for audio, then you don't need the hot shoe, you know, or the multi-interface hot shoe that Sony has. Flip up screen is going to be 100 times better, in my opinion. Kirk says, I sold all my Sony gear and And last weekend, I just got a Venice OG. Ooh, but like, did you sell your lenses? Because then that would hurt. But a Venice OG, congrats, man. That's a nice camera. Thank you, Paul. It looks like he's heading out. Says congrats again on 5 years. Keep up the consistency. Saludo from Tucson, Arizona. Thank you very much, Spacia. And Gretchen is laughing at my scores because I know that's what she's laughing at. Definitely. Like I said, I can't take credit for that. But guys, we did it. I can't emphasize how much I appreciate all of you. If you haven't done so already, please hit a like button. We went way past it, but it was 5 years of this breakdown celebration and my new found power up, right? My new skill on the Batman utility belt, and CAD designer, 3D printer, hardware maker, and now published app developer. And the list just keeps getting bigger, and I thank you all for making it possible and hanging out here with me every single week for 5 years, because this was just an amazing experience, and I can't thank you all for making this my favorite place to be every single week. I am forever indebted. So thank you all. You guys rock. So guess what? If this was your first time here, well, just know that we've been doing it for 5 years and there's no end in sight. So this will be a perfect time for you to like, subscribe, and even mark down on your calendars for next week's live stream. Is going to happen at the same exact time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces. Yeah, you. And until next time, talk to you.